HIIT workouts or running? Which one's better for you? So the answer to this, as with many things in health and fitness, is that it depends. It depends on your goals, depends on your trajectory, depends on your current fitness levels. So let's do a breakdown of the 5 key factors that will determine whether HIIT workouts are better for you or if running's better for you. The first factor is caloric burn or fat loss. So running is what's known as steady state cardio. This means that during the period of time that you run, you burn calories during that time. HIIT workouts, on the other hand, work a little bit differently. So you burn calories during the time that you work out, but also after. This is due to the EPOC effect. EPOC stands for excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, which basically just means that you burn calories even after you exercise. This is because when your body goes through intense periods of high intensity exercise like HIIT workouts, your body essentially depletes oxygen levels. And so when this happens, after you finish working out, your body needs to recover that oxygen. And so it works harder even after exercise to return your oxygen levels to a normal amount. Can you achieve the same level of high intensity exercise or get the EPOC effect with running? The answer is yes, but the thing is you'd need to be running for a very long period of time or be running very intensely. And typically when people go for a run, they do run to a certain degree, but they don't run in order to hit those exact levels. So that's why, myself included, I prefer HIIT workouts as it's more efficient time-wise and you also burn a lot more calories in the same period of time. The second consideration is muscle retention and body composition. So a lot of bodybuilders and gym rats avoid the treadmill or running like it's a plague because you lose muscle mass. And this is quite correct because as you run, you do break down muscle and so you do lose some degree of muscle mass. And so in this situation, HIIT workouts do come on top because HIIT workouts incorporate an element of resistance training. And so when you resistance train, you are less likely to lose muscle and if anything can actually gain more muscle. Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, who I'm a huge fan of, she heavily advocates the importance of protein and the importance of muscle mass. So having a good amount of muscle mass reduces all-cause mortality, improves health and longevity. And so in this situation, HIIT workouts do come out on top, in my opinion. And as someone who lifts myself, I find it very important and retaining muscle mass is very high up on my list of priorities when it comes to fitness and health. Consideration number 3 is cardio benefits. So a very generalized way of looking at the difference between HIIT or running is that HIIT workouts focus on resistance training and VO₂ maximization. So resistance training is when there is an external stimulus or pressure or stress on a muscle, and so it causes little tears in the muscle, which then you consume protein and recovery to fill in the tears within the muscle, and so the muscle then gets bigger. So that's what resistance training is. VO₂ max refers to the maximum amount of oxygen the body can use during exercise, and so it's all about really pushing the body to both its aerobic and anaerobic limits. So running can actually do this, but the thing is you have to be sprinting or you either have to be running very long distances to get the same effect. Running, on the other hand, can be boiled down to endurance and aerobic capacity. So in the long term, running definitely does help with endurance, and running also helps with improving slow twitch muscle fibers. So slow twitch muscle fibers are those that are more fatigue resistant and more useful for long duration activities. Slow twitch muscle fibers also primarily use fat as a fuel source. So this means that they help with fat oxidation, which means that they help with burning more fat and weight management. So in that way, running does help with weight management. The next one is time efficiency. So as someone who works a full-time corporate job as well, time efficiency is super, super important. So in this sense, HIIT workouts definitely do take the cake because HIIT workouts, you burn a solid amount of calories in a relatively short period of time compared to running. But it's also important to note that it's not all about efficiency because running does offer the effect of boosting your mental health. I'm not saying that HIIT workouts don't, but when you're running, you're in your zone, you're just listening to the rhythm of your footsteps on the pavement or the ground, and you're just listening to your heartbeat, it's a very therapeutic, almost in the zone type of moment. So in that sense, running, even though it's not the most efficient means of burning calories or exercise, it does have that more therapeutic mental health effect that HIIT workouts, not saying they cannot have, but typically don't have as much as something like running would. The last consideration is impact on joints and on the body. So especially for this point, I want to put a huge fat disclaimer. It's always best to consult a PT or a specialized person when making decisions like this. So I have an overextended tendon in one of my calves, which basically means I can't really run. And like I can run in traditional sense of like I can run short distances, but for me running prolonged distances, especially on the ground, is just very painful. And so I prefer to do HIIT workouts as they are more low intensity. And the thing with HIIT workouts that I personally like is that they're more structured and there's more flexibility. So there's high impact and low impact or medium impact depending on what suits you better. And so people that have joint or tendon issues like myself can then decide what's best for them and what's best for their body. So even when running, you probably can achieve a level of this, but in my opinion at least, it's just easier and more gentler on the body when you do HIIT workouts. And also with running, especially people that run on the ground, you see as they get older, as they run for more and more years, they tend to have cartilage issues, as running on the ground especially does wear down cartilage, and so you're going to have knee problems and things like that. And so I just think HIIT workouts are more gentler on the body and are more better for people who do have certain conditions or injuries that they need to be considerate of. The final verdict: is running better or HIIT workouts better? So as I said at the very beginning, it's very lifestyle dependent. So for someone like me who has a very busy life and has pre-existing injuries, HIIT workouts are better as they're more time efficient and are more low impact on my body, help me keep in shape. And for someone who, for example, may be more into clearing their mind, going outside, or even in Australia, run clubs are very popular. So that social aspect or Strava or whatnot, running may be better. And so it really depends on what you're looking for and what you're after. But it's also very important to note, as with anything, diet is super important, nutrition is super important. It's very crucial to make sure that you balance your exercise as well as your diet, because you need to eat right, whether you're running or whether you're doing HIIT workouts. Hope you enjoyed this video, got something out of it. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe, as it's super important to get the right information out. And my goal, as always, is to help people live happier and healthier lives. So let me know in the comments below if you like this video and what you'd like to see next. Until the next one.